Have you ever really stopped to think about how we learn through touch? It's a massive idea in Montessori education, and today we're going to dive into how these simple physical feelings can actually build a really sophisticated mind.
All right, to get started, let's just try something. Go ahead and close your eyes for a second. First, imagine the feeling of rough sandpaper under your fingertips. Really feel it. Now, switch that sensation completely. Imagine cool, smooth silk. You can feel the difference, can't you? Even without seeing a thing, your hands and your mind tell a story. And that ability, right there, is exactly what we're going to unpack.
At the very heart of all of this is this incredible connection between our hands and our intellect. For children, touch is one of the first, most fundamental ways they understand the world. It's not just about feeling something, it's about learning from it. And this quote from Maria Montessori just nails it. She believed that when we help a child refine their sense of touch, we're doing so much more than just teaching them about different textures. We're actually preparing their minds for really complex skills down the road. We're talking about writing, geometry, and even scientific observation. So this whole approach to learning through touch really involves two key senses. Let's start with the first one, the tactile sense. This is all about perceiving the physical qualities of the world through our skin.
The tactile sense is kind of like our built-in analysis tool. It's how we answer all those little questions. Is this rough or is it smooth? Hot or cold? Is it heavy or light? It's all about figuring out the specific properties of an object. And there are specific materials used to train this sense. Things like these touch boards, for instance. They might have a strip of really rough sandpaper right next to some super smooth varnish. The whole point is to isolate the sense of touch so a child can just focus laser-like on comparing and contrasting those different textures. But it goes way beyond just texture. Take thermic tablets, for example. These are pairs of tablets made from different stuff, like wood, metal, or stone. Now here's the cool part. They're all the same room temperature, but the metal one feels colder because it conducts heat away from your hand faster. Then there are baric tablets, which look identical but actually have different weights. These materials teach a child to perceive qualities you literally can't see with your eyes.
Okay, now let's see how all this builds into something even more complex, the stereognostic sense. This is where we make the leap from just feeling qualities to actually identifying objects. It is literally like seeing with your hands.
So the stereognostic sense, it's that incredible ability to reach into a bag, feel an object, and know exactly what it is. A key, a button, a little toy, all without a single glance. It's all about your brain constructing a mental image based purely on the information it's getting from your hands.
So how is this sense trained? Well, a classic tool is the mystery bag. A child reaches in and feels a familiar object. By tracing its shape, feeling its texture, its weight, they have to access their memory to identify it. It's a really powerful game for building up those recognition skills.
And this gets even more abstract with geometric solids. A child, often blindfolded, will hold a wooden cube. They feel those sharp corners, the flat faces, the straight edges, and they learn to identify it as a cube. This direct, physical experience builds a way deeper, way more intuitive understanding of geometry than just looking at a picture in a book ever could.
So let's just put these two ideas right next to each other so it's crystal clear. The tactile sense asks, what is this like? It focuses on qualities. Rough, cold, heavy. The stereognostic sense takes it a step further. It asks, what is this? It focuses on the object's identity. Is it a cube? A key? A shell? You can see you really need that first one to be able to do the second one.
But why? Why does all this detailed sensory work matter so much? What's the real long-term payoff here? Well, it's all about building the infrastructure for higher-level thinking. You could call it building the mind's eye.
The ultimate goal here is to give a child the ability to form a clear, detailed mental picture of an object without even needing to see it. And that ability to hold and manipulate images in your mind is the foundation for memory, for imagination, and for abstract thought.
And this foundation supports so many other skills. Feeling the shapes of letters prepares the hand for writing. Holding geometric solids builds an intuitive grasp of math. Noticing subtle little differences trains the mind for careful scientific observation. You see, it all connects back to this fundamental training of the senses.
So how can parents or educators actually guide this kind of learning? Well, it turns out it's less about active teaching and a lot more about creating an environment for quiet, focused personal discovery.
So here are 5 key strategies.
First, using a blindfold is huge. It really helps isolate the sense of touch. Second, give them the words like rough, smooth, heavy. That helps them classify their experiences. Third, this kind of work needs a quiet, focused space. Fourth, and this one can be the hardest, let the material be the teacher. You got to resist that urge to jump in with the answer, let them discover it. And finally, respect that every single child has a unique sensitivity to different textures or temperatures.
So what might just look like a bunch of simple games are actually these profound experiments in perception. For a child, every touch is a lesson, and every single object is a potential discovery, training both their hand and their mind at the exact same time.
And that really brings us to a final thought. This isn't just about childhood education. It's a reminder that touch is this powerful, incredible sense that, let's be honest, is often overlooked by all of us. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world that is so dominated by screens, how much more could we all perceive if we just learned to truly feel?